A person can stop breathing while people stand 3 feet away, wondering what to do. It's not really because they don't care, it's because they're afraid. Afraid to be wrong or afraid to get involved, or the situation itself might be dangerous, right? But when opioids are involved, hesitation becomes part of the emergency. And right now, ordinary people are suddenly the only thing standing between someone living and dying, whether on the job site or in a parking lot, in a bathroom, in a restaurant, or in somebody's family home. So today, I want to show you what matters first. Not perfectly, just clearly. I'm Nurse Healy, and this is the healing perspective. There's something important that I need to say before I start. Naloxone is not about those people because opioids do not care who you are, how much money you make, or what your profession is, or whether this is someone's first mistake or their 50th mistake. I've seen families completely blindsided. Good people, hardworking folks, people who never imagined this would touch their lives. And suddenly, their son isn't waking up, or their coworker collapsed in a bathroom, or their friend is no longer breathing while sitting on a couch. When that happens, you don't need a debate. You need minutes. Naloxone is not magic, and it's not a party medicine. What it does is it temporarily blocks opioids from attaching to receptors in the brain. That matters because opioids can slowly stop breathing and eventually stop it altogether. Naloxone can reverse the effect long enough for emergency services to arrive. That's it. It just buys time. And sometimes time is the entire difference between life and death. This is where people freeze because movies trained us to expect drama, right? But real overdose situations are often quiet, sometimes terrifyingly quiet. Things that people may notice are slowed breathing or no breathing, perhaps, blue or gray lips, pinpoint pupils, snoring or gurgling sounds, limp body, skin is probably cold and clammy, and there might be an inability to wake that person. And sometimes people just assume, well, the person's just sleeping. That mistake itself is deadly. The biggest mistake is waiting too long, waiting for certainty or waiting for someone else's opinion or waiting because you don't want to embarrass yourself. If someone is not breathing properly, it's already a medical emergency. Pick up the phone, call 911 immediately, not after Google, immediately. Most public kits now contain naloxone that's in a nasal spray. It's very simple to assemble, it's not complicated. Your general response would be call 911, attempt to wake the person, administer naloxone, continue monitoring breathing, and follow what emergency operators' instructions are. Naloxone generally will not hurt someone if opioids are not present. Ironically, that fear stops many people from reacting in a situation. Naloxone is not a fix, and it does not solve addiction. It does not replace emergency care. And depending upon the opioid involved, multiple doses may sometimes be required, especially with the stronger synthetic ones that are now available in the communities, right? Even after you administered naloxone, you still make sure that emergency services are deployed. I think one of the hardest things for people is accepting how close this crisis now sits in ordinary lives. It's no longer downtown or in other families. It's all part of ordinary life, whether it's a tradesman or a teenager, or a professional or a parent or somebody's coworker, a neighbor. And many people carrying naloxone today never imagined they would until they watch someone stop breathing. You don't need to be an expert, but knowing what opioid distress can look like and being willing to act may someday matter more than you realize. Because sometimes the most important person in an emergency is simply the person who didn't walk away. I'm Nurse Healy. Be safe out there.